Hey girls, here's your scouting report for the quarterfinal match and playoffs, national finals. Lone Star, it's a pretty familiar opponent. We're assuming that they're going to play in a 4-4-2. It can be a flat shape or a diamond shape. They're pretty stingy defense, and I'll give you a chance to read through this, but it's super important for us to switch the point of attack. Be a little bit creative to get the ball out wide against their two blocks of four. You'll see some of it in the video, and try and create 2v1s out wide. When we get the ball out wide and we're about to cross it in, let's make sure that we have more than just one player inside the box, inside the 18. So super important for us. It's pretty straightforward attack, and they're fairly direct. They can move the ball side to side with the four midfielders, but ultimately they're just trying to play ball into the corner for the wide midfielders to run onto, or playing a long ball into their forwards. So be real alert on their restarts. Uh, they do have some unique ones that we'll take a look at in the video. So again, most important, switching the point of attack. So this, like I said, familiar opponent. So just we played this game, but just recognize now how their entire team is really fixed on one side of the field. Okay, and something we've been talking about the last couple of days. It's super important that as you see them starting to drop again, they're still in this area right here. So it's going to be super important that we're figuring out or solving the problem of trying to get the ball, out to the other side. There was an opportunity right there. And again, if you see they're all here, we want to make sure we're in areas making runs into these areas so that we can switch the ball from that spot. Doesn't happen, and that's okay. But again, look at how they're starting to set up their defense. Okay, looks like a box right now, but they're completely just overloading one side defensively. So again, this is also a moment when we've got to see that they're all on this side of the field, and we want to try and get the ball into this area here. Again, there's an opportunity again to get it to Alicia. If we do that, you can see how much time and space Sammy has, and then it allows everybody else to get forward as well. We do play the ball eventually. And again, if that can be done quicker, again, look at how much space she has. And then the idea is for anybody playing in these midfield spots, Alicia here, just recognize how many white shirts are in front of you, and it just paints the picture for you. It shows you where the free space is. A little bit earlier than Sammy's not getting in on a 50-50 challenge. So again, if we back up here, as soon as you receive this ball, touch, play it right away, boom, and then she's in, and we can make some quicker decisions to get into the attack. And just be alert to their transition. Again, it's just going to be a ball into wide forwards or forwards running into wide areas. And we just want to make sure we're alert to that. Good, moving on here. Again, recognize we can switch the ball here instead of, let me back up a little bit. So you can see what their setup looks like. It's the back four there against our center forward Maya there. So again, this is really good situation here. You can see our numbers. We've got a nice diamond here, so we should be able to get through it. Maybe it's to Alicia there, but that's okay. Okay, gets the ball out wide. So again, just recognizing again, look at how they're fixed. They're fixed on one side of the field and one quadrant of the field. So there's got to be that recognition that we need to get the ball to the other side. Even though we did a good job to switch it over here, the job's not done yet. We've got to be a little bit more patient. And again, if we can get 1v1 in these areas right here, that's fine. But if they're just going to stifle us with numbers, there's still an opportunity to get the ball here and then switching the ball again. So just recognize that moment there. Okay, so this is just how they'll press. Again, the half spaces, I know we talk about this all the time. The half spaces here in the build up, breaking the line here. Eventually this is how we're going to be able to get through them. They're pretty spread out, as you can see. It's not until they get into their own half that they really block it up with two lines of four. But you can see how much space there is for us to be able to move the ball. But it's got to be done quickly, 2 and 3 touch. Again, recognize how they're defending us. And okay, so now that we've got the ball in here, look at the numbers situation here. Again, still a double team, and if we're able to get this here, great. But look at how they are pretty stingy. They have two players here. They have three players running back. Still gets the cross off good, but they're just looking to deflect the ball, clear the ball away. Okay, you can recognize here, this is what it's going to look like. So right now it's my end to a 1v4. So again, if we can be a little bit more patient, and involve our midfielders and outside backs and spread them out a little bit, we should be able to, create better scoring opportunities. Again, that's just 1v3, 1v2. And like as we like our chances with Maya, 1v2, 1v3 even, but now that Chloe's about to cross the ball, our center forward is on top of the 18. So again, we've got to be a little bit more patient in figuring it out. Not bad to have girls inside the 18, but again, it's not super specific in how we're doing it. We're just kind of sending a hopeful ball into the area. Okay, this shows you right here, where's the open space. Instead of Chloe dribbling into this area, we want Maya, we want you to, if you're not going to get this ball, we want you to start checking into that little space right there. And then maybe it's a layoff 1-2 with Lubick. She gives it right back to you and scoring. Again, I know this is easy to, say after the fact, but Chloe doesn't need to dribble into this space when the pass is there. And then this is all the open space the team that we have is in this area. Why congest it with the dribble? Let the ball do the work, and then maybe we can get something out of it in some sort of combination to get an easier shot on goal. And that's what we talked about yesterday in training, or 2 days ago in training. And then again, watch out for the transition. Two forwards going to run after it. Got to be alert to it. Okay, so we end up getting the ball, but you can see what their shape looks like on the punt. Okay, so stop right there. Again, it's two lines, and they're just looking to frustrate us and to disrupt. That's great from Chloe there, gets it nice and wide. What's next in this situation? Very good. Now, if it's not a shot here, we've got to move the ball a little bit more because you can see how they're all just going to come in and block it. So maybe it's one more pass, one more switch there to Alicia, and we can create something out of it. Getting a little impatient to try and get the ball in. We get it back. It's a good little pass there. This is the idea right here. Getting it wide, just a little outside of the foot to Layla, and look at the numbers we have in the box. So this is what will be successful, as we deliver the ball in. Super important for us to recognize that. Again, Maya should be checking to get the ball at her feet. Not bad to get the ball on the other side, but now look at what Maya's got to deal with. Okay. And again, we always like our chances, but if we're able to maybe check back and get this ball right here, maybe it's laid off to Kate. Maybe it's dropped right back off to Sammy. Maybe it's played out wide. Maybe you can turn from here and get a shot. But what we end up doing is you'd think you're finding some spot, but look at all the eyes of these girls. They're all like, "Oh, there's Maya. Let's go make sure we put three or four players on it." So the earlier we play it into her, because there's plenty of options for us to play. You can see we have 7 players, 8 if you count Sammy there around the 18. We should be able to get something more out of this. And so I think that's going to be the key against breaking down this Lone Star team. That's a good first touch, not a bad effort, but could we have gotten that ball on the ground to somebody and created an easier shot? Again, long ball clearance. We have time. We just want to be quicker and smarter with the ball. Could we have switched the point of attack there, Sammy? When you get it under control, maybe cut it back. Because look at all the space that Kate and Lubick and these girls have over here. Maybe, maybe not. Just an idea. Think about that. Again, look at the open players. The quicker we play it to them, the better. Nice wide play. Okay, and so just recognize their buildup. Not going to be too much of it if we press them like this. So, and again, this is IMG, so the wind is a factor. But if they're going to play short, we'll have the numbers to press them. Let's just make sure our back line is up high as well. And I'm 100% sure that her goal kicks are going to be will be better than that, but because that was against the wind. But let's make sure our numbers are up. You can see how far back our back line is, and there's no way that this goalkeeper is going to kick it that far. So we can be up a little bit higher. Okay, so just recognizing some of their attacks, pretty aggressive, pretty direct. Forwards get it. While it looks like we're in a good shape, we have free runners coming in here, so it's important that we're ready for it. Again, could we switch the ball here? Maybe, but now we're talking about them attacking. So when they transition, they're looking to play that open player. Their left back is left footed. Their left center back is left footed. The moment they break us like this is when we have serious problems. Fortunately, they didn't turn. You'll see one coming up here in a second when they do. But again, as you can see, they're not afraid to just play side to side. But ultimately, they're trying to break these lines right there. So just go back one more time. As I said, when she breaks the line here, this is where we've got to be very careful because we now have a lot of players out of position on the other side of the field. So super important. Fortunately, Sammy gets to the ball first. Again, something to think about. All they're trying to do eventually is get the ball into this wide area here. So we just got to recognize it and not create too many 1v1s. And again, where's their open space? You can see their open space that they're targeting right here. So we need to be up a little bit more, engaging with them a little bit more. Our wide midfielder needs to be here. Our other wide midfielder needs to be a little bit more connected because now you can see all they're going to do is look to run in behind. They're playing it side to side as we were talking about, but look at the open space still. So we just got to make sure we track that player or we mark a little tighter and cover for each other. Doesn't amount to anything, but just to show you this is what they're trying to do or how they're trying to play. So again, as she breaks this line here, look at where their forwards are. One forward out here, one forward over here. So as a back four, we just got to be alert to them, making sure we're allowing the midfield to step up and defend, and then outside backs need to make sure they pick up, any free players. But this is just a shot from distance. It's unfortunate, but again, if we don't pressure them as a group, they just get free time on the ball, and as you can see, they just take a shot and hope for the best. So restarts here. Just recognize that it's a short. If you see their outside back or one of their center backs coming, she is left-footed. She probably should have served it because her teammates offside, but you can just see. Back it up a little bit. Just take a look at what their setup looks like. All our players here, and then the short runner here. So just be alert to that. Got to be ready for any sort of trickery that they might try and pull. Just a left-footed long ball into space from their left back. Not much to it, but just be alert that that's something they could do. They do throw the ball in and then set it to the outside back who clips it in one touch. So it's in the scouting report, but just to show you a couple videos, just a nice easy set and then across. So let's make sure we're ready for that. Anytime, the same thing on the other side for the right back, just a set, and she just kicks it right in, and they're looking to try and create something. They'll look for the back post on the left side, or sorry, on our left side, their right side, and it'll be an in swinger. And you can see that they're going to be aiming for the back post and try and get something out of it. Another service, just right in front, not much to it, in the six. Left footed, back post. So just remember we need to make sure we're alert to any of these set pieces. One here, you can see how many runners they have. For us, it's important. We want to make sure our line starts, with the wall. So if we start it from the beginning, we're dropped back really far here when the wall is here. So we want to make sure that we're not, too far back. It can be a little bit, but not all the way in our 18. Make sure we're correct body shape against them. Probably starting too high on that. So again, here's our corner. They are suspect on corners as we saw when we played them. So just recognize these situations. and just get up for it. Make sure we create some opportunities there. So, again, just a guide for you guys, give you some pointers or some tips on how they're going to play. They're a pretty familiar opponent for you guys, so we're really excited about the event. We can't wait to see you guys compete.